Following show is an Oldie Mar production. This is the Make Life Rich Movement podcast. Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referenced in this episode. This is the Make Life Rich Movement podcast with me, your host, Sarah Kelly. Hello, my Richies, and welcome back to another Sunday strategy session. My name is Sarah. I'm your host, and in today's episode, we are talking about cultivating your spiritual practice and doing so with your spiritual well-being in mind. Aside from organized religion, there's a really beautiful way in which you can both ground yourself and grow and evolve within a spiritual practice that really does allow you to thrive and flourish as a business owner as well. Now, spiritual well-being can really just be boiled down to what purpose and meaning you find within your life. What is your sense of evolution of yourself and the ways in which you are becoming more aligned with your purpose and your passion, and kind of figuring the ways in which that manifests for you into your daily life, whether that's work or volunteering or the way you operate within your family. Exploring and cultivating your spiritual well-being is absolutely a practice worth looking into, because it does really give you the map of yourself and being able to continually evolve and continue to grow, ultimately giving you the keys to the kingdom of becoming a high achiever. If you have a fair understanding of what your meaning and your purpose are, and you also have a fair understanding of what it is that you like to do, and you also have a fair understanding of the things that you're good at, your innate talents, the things that happen easily for you, then you're well on your way to being able to create a meaningful spiritual practice for yourself that ultimately enables you to have a healthy spiritual well-being. Now, my spiritual journey started back in 2010, and it came out of just a sheer place of desperation. I was an alcoholic. I was definitely working and doing what I loved to do. It was marketing, it was PR, it was during the club days of Philadelphia and the early restaurant days, but I wasn't doing myself any favors internally. I was depressed. I had crazy anxiety. I just really didn't feel like I was connected to anything that mattered to me. And it made me feel like I was wasting my life, my days, my efforts, my talents, my purpose. So I started to kind of take a look at all right, well, what the fuck is my purpose? For me, it was hard. As someone who had self-value and self-worth problems, it was difficult for me to figure out what my purpose was, because it felt like an ego statement to say, I have a purpose. Oh, I matter. Well, yeah, of course I fucking matter. And you matter too. So yes, you do have a purpose. It's not an egotistical statement to say it or to accept that you have a purpose on this earth at this timeline that you're in this body, with the skill sets that you've been given that are innate to you and you alone. Those are our superpowers. There are things that have been diminished and taken away from us just from years and generations of people being downtrodden. So they're a good employee and they're a good coin and cog in the system. But we're blessed to be living in a time where we get to reject and rebuke all of that grossness, because we're meant for more, and we know we're meant for more. Now, I needed to figure out a way in which I could feel connected to what I thought my spiritual path was. I was looking into Kabbalah. I was like looking at all these fringe religions that felt less organized and a little bit more woo-woo. But ultimately, I was looking for the woo-woo. I started taking yoga. I started going to meditation classes. I was trying to eat better. I was trying to eat organic. I was trying to make mindful choices about the people that I spent my time around. And although these didn't feel quote unquote spiritual, they were really cleaning out my energy field, and they were really making things feel less forced, a lot more in flow. And once I got into that state of flow, I was able to really take a step back and assess what didn't work for me and wasn't working for me. By replacing the things that weren't working for me, I now had a goal to work towards. I had a growth goal. And this growth goal, whatever it was at the time, would be kind of the thing that was meant to be put on my path. I would achieve it, and I would continue to evolve. And what really felt like, one, understanding my purpose, two, finding the meaning of my life, but ultimately it was the confidence and what's the word? I trusted myself. I had cultivated and established trust with myself through this work of removing things that weren't working for me, adding in more things that were, being a little bit more tied to finding a spiritual community, going to yoga, going to the meditation classes, eating organic, trying vegan restaurants, like all the things that feel very like, oh, I'll just go do that. Like, let's place a Band-Aid on it. Yes, they are a component. They are not like a magical fix-all pill or thing that you can do or take or buy, but it did give me a lot of opportunities to nurture myself in ways that promoted self-love, that promoted creativity, that were bringing me interconnectedness with different groups and different people that were on that path and that journey that I was on. It really did kind of happen exactly how it was supposed to. And most people that I've spoken with that have a spiritual practice, they have a really round sense of their spiritual well-being and who they are, all kind of talk about it in the same manner. It was very happenstance. It was just like waves coming in and out. It happened as they were supposed to. There was no forcing, there was no fixing, there was no arranging. It was we'll say the surrendering of trying to figure it out that really allowed for the spirit to come in and do what it does, which is clean out all the things that aren't meant for you anymore and really usher in and support and provide you that environment to find the things that do and multiply the things that do. And then to turn around and help others to figure that out for themselves as well. It feels important to share this information so early in January. I feel like if you're like me, I love a good fresh start to put in new goals, have new things that I'm looking forward to completing, new ways I want to stretch myself and expand this container that I am in. And I hope that this helped you and kind of provided you with some of that ammunition to get after that good work. I promise I'm going to get better with my hands and what I do with them. It's new filming video, especially for the solo episodes. So bear with me as I continue to evolve and get better at this camera thing here. But thank you so much for tuning in, my Richies. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sunday Strategy Sessions, and I will see you on Tuesday with an amazing interview that I have been waiting to bring to you guys. And I'm just so happy that the time is here. Thank you so much, my Richies. And as always, make life rich. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Go comment on my last Instagram post at SARANNKELLYPR. It's listed in the show notes with the guest you want to see next. I'll be picking one person from the comments to send my 52-page pre-strategy creation workbook to. Make sure you hit follow on this platform to never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to leave a review and share on your socials. It truly means so much. See you next episode, my Richies.